Okay, so in behavior, the main thing you need to understand the terminology. So when it says x arrow positive infinity, well, x is talking about the x-axis, so that's direction. Positive infinity with x is the right side of your picture. X negative infinity is the left side of your picture. So when we look at this, it says as x arrow or approaches positive infinity, meaning look at the right side, and on our right side our arrow or our picture is going down, therefore y is negative infinity, it's going down. Then for the next one, on the left, as x goes negative, meaning look left, the graph is also going down. So that's why f of x or y, the graph's height is going down. It's heading towards negative infinity. Looking at the graph above, you know that the leading coefficient, we always think about that triangle first, and that triangle goes on the right-hand side. And leading coefficient, if a leading coefficient is positive on the right, the arrow's up. If it's negative, the arrow is down. So since it was heading downwards on the right, since there was that downwards arrow, we know that the leading coefficient has to be negative. And since the arrows were balanced, right, they were both going down, we know that even degrees mean that the arrows are going to be in the same direction. So we know that it's got to be an even degree. So for this next one, same thing. All you need to look at is the leading term. You don't really need to look at anything else when you're looking at in behavior. So leading coefficient is -2. We always work on the right-hand side first. Think dominant hand, right side. So if the leading coefficient's -2, negative means we're going to head down on the right. Since the degree is odd, odd things are off balance or opposite directions. So the arrow over here is up. And we fill in our info here. As we look to the right, on the right, our graph is going down. So that's why it's negative. On the left, our arrow is up, so that's why it's positive infinity. So for this next one, I used leading coefficient and degree to help me with my arrows. So I know since the leading coefficient's negative, on the right I'm going down, degree is odd, so they're off balance, so the side's going up, which I see here. I know that the cubes have that kind of S-like shape, right? Depends on reflections. So then I put in my graphing calculator, right? Y equals -x to the third power. I would do zoom standard. And then when you see the graph, once you see the picture of the graph, hit trace. And then hit a number, like 1, hit enter. And it's going to give you the ordered pair at the bottom of the screen. And it will be blinking on that point. So that's what I would do. And then you can create a table of values. Next one, same thing. I looked at leading term, leading coefficient's positive, degree is even, so the arrows are balanced. I put it in my calculator. I hit zoom standard. I hit trace. So I hit number 1, enter, and I got out 5. So I put it in my table. I plotted the point. I hit trace. I hit 0, and I got out -1. So I hit plotted 0, 1, so on and so forth. So basically graph, put in your calculator, hit trace, you can get a bunch of ordered pairs. Just make sure you have a good rough image.